In this lesson, we will learn about different verb tenses and see examples that will help us know when to use the correct tense. The term tense has been derived from the Latin word tempus, that means time. Since there are many ways in which we express the time of action, we use tenses. And they help us to figure out when the action in a sentence is happening. There are three main verb tenses: present, past, and future. Each main tense is divided into simple, progressive, perfect, and perfect progressive tenses. Present simple tense is the simple form of the verb. The past simple is formed by adding d, ed, or ied to the base form of the verb. However, in English there are many irregular verbs that take on a completely different form in the past tense. Future simple, will or shall. Present progressive, ing and to be. Past progressive, ing and to be in the past. Future progressive, ing and will or shall. Present perfect, to have and the verb in the past tense. Past perfect, to had and the verb in the past tense. Future perfect, will or shall, to have and the verb in the past tense. Present perfect progressive, to have, been and ing. Past perfect progressive, to had, been and ing. Future perfect progressive, will or shall, to have, been and ing. Simple present is generally used to describe action that is factual, habitual or happens regularly. Things that occur in the present but are not necessarily happening right now. Example. It rains a lot in England. He drinks coffee every day. I never go out on Sundays. I can swim. You may enter. She must go. They work hard. I love ice cream. For present tense are mainly used the following time expressions: every day, from time to time, most of time, all this time, often, always, usually, sometimes, never and others. Simple past tense indicates actions that occurred in the past and which does not extend into the present. To talk about a completed action in a time before now. Example. I watched an interesting movie yesterday. I finished my homework 2 hours ago. Yes, Canada is a really great country. I visited it last summer. I walked home last night. I fixed my bike the day before yesterday. They won the lottery 2 weeks ago. She started preparing for her exams long time ago. For past tense are mainly used the following time expressions: last month, year, week, night. Hours, days, years, months ago. Yesterday, the day before yesterday. Simple future tense expresses an action that has not happened yet, but is expected to happen in the future. Example. I shall go to school tomorrow. She will start a new job next week. They will bring many books the day after tomorrow. They will bring it next month. You will go to university next year. He will attend the show tomorrow. For future tense are mainly used the following time expressions: tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. Next week, month, year. Next time, after. Present progressive tense indicates continuing action. Something that is happening now. Example. I am reading the book. He is working hard to finish his work in time. They are sleeping. We cannot come to you, we are going to work. She is washing the dishes. They are going to theater. This tense is formed with the help of to be verb and verb of the sentence adds ing, like going, working, starting. Past progressive tense indicates continuing action in past. Something that was happening in the past in certain time. Example. I was sleeping when the phone called. He was going home when this accident happened. We all were having good time before he turned up. I was walking home. They were dancing. She was drinking the coffee. You were busy when I called you. This tense is formed with the help of the past tense of to be verb and adds ing, like going, working, starting. Future progressive tense indicates continuing action, something that will be happening, going on, at some point in the future. Example. By the time you get here, she will be traveling to England. I will be going soon. They will be visiting us tomorrow for lunch. We will be flying over the Atlantic by the time he gets home. This tense is formed with the modal will or shall, be and the verb of the sentence adds-ing like going, working, starting. Present perfect tense indicates the result of the action that already happened in the past, but does not indicate the exact time. Example: I have left some food in the fridge. He has successfully completed the task. We have worked hard to achieve this. They have gone. This tense is formed with the present tense of verb to have and past participle of the main verb of the sentence. For present perfect tense are mainly used the following time expressions: for ages, for years, for centuries, and so on. Example: I have not seen you for ages. The church has been preserved for centuries. Past perfect tense indicates that an action was completed, finished, or perfected at some point in the past before something else happened. Example: when she went out to play, she had already done her homework. He had not been to Brazil since he got married. This tense is formed with the past tense of verb to have and past participle of the main verb of the sentence. The past perfect refers to a time earlier than before now. It is used to make it clear that one event happened before another in the past. It does not matter which event is mentioned first. The tense makes it clear which one happened first. Future perfect tense indicates the result of the action in the future. That something will be done at some point in the future. Example: by the time I get home, she will have cooked the dinner. We will have returned home by evening. This tense is formed with will, plus have in the past participle of the verb. The future perfect tense is used to explain an activity that will be completed by a certain time in the future. We add time expressions such as by the time, by then, by the year 2008, by March to describe these kinds of activities. Present perfect progressive tense indicates the action that started in the past and still continues to happen. Example: she has been reading for 2 hours now. I think she must have some rest. They have been working for me for last 5 years. She has been waiting for you all day. I've been working on this report since 8 o'clock this morning. They have been building the house since last June. She has known James since she was a child. This tense is formed with the modal have or has, been and the present participle of the verb with an ing ending. Past perfect progressive tense indicates the action that started in the past and was continuing at some point in the past. Example: she was not tired, because she had been sleeping whole morning. I had been watching TV for 2 hours, before she arrived. Had you been waiting long before the bus arrived? It had been raining hard for several hours and the streets were so wet. Her friends had been thinking of calling the police when she walked in. This tense is formed with the modal had, been and the present participle of the verb with an ing ending. Future perfect progressive tense indicates the action that will be started in the future and will be continuing at some point in the future. Example: next year, I will have been working here for 4 years. He will have been sailing for 6 hours by the time he gets home. How long will you have been studying when you get your diploma? By 2001 I will have been living in London for 16 years. I will have been waiting here for 3 hours by 6 o'clock. They will win the contest because they will have been practicing for months. Even though she will have been dancing the whole night, and will still look very fresh. By the end of the day, he will have carried 90 bags of potatoes on his back. This tense is formed with the modal have or has, will and the present participle of the verb with an ing ending.